There we go.
Hey guys, so I made this channel. It's a brand new channel, and if you're here, thank you. I don't know how you got here or how you found it, but I hope you watched the whole thing. The whole goal is really is just the whole do-it-yourself hot rod kind of applied to Nissan. I don't really see much of that online at all. Everything is about buying off the shelf, pre-made stuff, kits you can bolt on, getting it tuned by your professional tuner, stuff like that. But I probably a little bit older than the average Nissan Z owner. My 20-year-old son actually kind of got me into it. So with that, this is the car. We actually got this for him when he was in high school. So we bought it as a high mileage 2007. He had some fun with it, did some autocross events, kept it mainly stock. And then when we went to sell it, I was driving around a little bit, and because he had a different car to drive, he did some work, made some money, and he bought himself a lower mileage car for college. So I started driving around just a spare car, and I said, you know what, I kind of like this thing. And back up a long time ago, I had a 280Z turbo, like back in high school, so in the 90s, so that tells you how old I am. Kind of had a Z28 Camaro after that, kind of was in the, the heads in the cam and stuff like that, and I didn't tune that one myself. But got out of it for a real long time. I started a shop. I do mostly transmission work here, but I haven't done any fun stuff in a really long time. So I was like, you know what? We already have this car. I'm not going to buy something. I mean, we already had it, so what the heck? Had very little into it. So I started just getting into fabrication and learning about turbocharging and stuff like that. And with that, actually, let me introduce my cameraman. Say hi, Dill.
Hello.
He's doing a fine job. But anyway, so yeah, come on over here. Kind of based it on like the boosted performance kit, I guess, that everybody runs. Kind of like the idea of it, keeps it hidden under the car, looks stock under the hood. So I fabricated all this here. I had some help with the TIG welding. And then we smoke tested it. From inside, fixed all the leaks and everything. What else we got here? So, again, I'm going to back up. The car was running with the original engine, 240,000 miles, and I had all of this on the car. Based on what I've seen online, I figure I was making around 450 to 500 wheel. Way too much torque in mid-range. Ultimately, it led to me bending every single rod in the 3.5. So, took the motor out, learned about that 37HR swap. So we used a 3.7 bottom end, low mileage one. Put my heads on it, put it in the car. As it sits right now, the car is NA. I'll put a couple videos up later of how it runs, and it's pretty impressive, not gonna lie. It's probably, it's way faster than it was before with the 3.5 NA. It's got higher compression, it's got a little bit bigger exhaust system on it, stuff. I tuned it. What I tuned it with was HP tuners, and that's ultimately what led me to do what I'm doing now. Is I haven't found any support online at all. Even HP tuners themselves, they don't have an idea. They really don't know what half of the stuff does. The tables, and some of the tables don't do anything. Some of the axes on the tables are labeled wrong, but we're going to get to that. I was just going to show you this little setup here. This is a Borg Warner S366. Bought it real cheap. All of the mandrel bent tubing here that I've cut and welded together and everything, all of that's available from multiple vendors. Ace Race Parts, GBE mandrel bends.com, I believe. Bought a little bit from them. But yeah, just kind of fabricated that. It's kind of a no-name blow-off valve. It works real well. My first wastegates were junk. They were the Chinese junk. I didn't install them right away. I got them out of the box. I disassembled them like all the videos say to do, and sure enough, they needed a lot of work. So I did that to them, and they worked for a while, but eventually they seized up. They're running a steel pin on a cast iron housing, no bushing or anything. These guys here, these aren't top of the line. They're not Tile. They're not Turbo Smart. These come from Twisted Motion. Little bit more unheard of, but I saw their product online. It looked really nice. If you look in here, it's got that nice bronze bushing in there. I was looking for that. These things hold pressure like really well. I use my radiator pressure tester on them, and they'll open and they'll actually hold the pressure for quite a while. So I'm real happy with that. I'm real excited to put those on and try them out because I think it's going to be a world of difference. What else did we do? What was that?
That's my notification sound.
Anyway, so this is I don't even know if this is necessary, but it seemed to me like it was. This is a bracket. It just bolts to the side of the transmission. Obviously, the trans sits right here. It bolts to the turbo. Actually, it bolts this way, like that. It bolts to the T4 flange with the extra mount support on there, and that bolts to the side of the transmission. It just takes some of the weight of the turbo off of the exhaust system, which I thought was going to help it live a little bit longer. So far, so good. You haven't had a problem with the pipes I made without a flex joint in it, and they are stainless. But if you come over here, I'll show you what I'm talking about with this HP tuner stuff. I'll get into it in more detail in another video. I'll go through every table and everything that I've done to make this thing work with 850cc injectors. I'm still having some problems though. I cannot get it to idle properly. It'll idle properly with the stock injectors perfectly fine. Idles down to 650 RPMs. I believe that's the OEM setting on it. And then like the IAVL will run, the idle air volume learn procedure, I guess it's called. That'll run with the original injectors in. It won't do it with the 850s in. It'll settle into about a 900 RPM idle, but it's very inconsistent and low speed, low engine speed drivability is not great. Terrible throttle response and everything. So I'm making this channel not necessarily for all the other stuff I've fabricated on the car and stuff. I mean, it's all going to be about this car pretty much. It's the only thing I have to work on. But HP tuners in general and Nissan, I'm trying to get a little thing going here where I want you guys, if you have any experience or if you've heard of anything, I want you to comment and let me know because I'm trying to learn more about it. There's a lot of tables in here that work and some that don't. For example, we got the main screen here. We pull down engine. All right, we're under general engine. Okay. This car now, the displacement is not 3.5. It is 3.7. If I put anything but 3.5 in that box and I flash the vehicle, there's no throttle response. It won't run. Changing that displacement value is pretty key, from what I understand, to keep your volumetric efficiency tables correct. It runs pretty good nonetheless. AFRs are dead on. All my target AFRs in open loop, it hits them like just perfect. You know, I got that down without any, without too much crazy stuff to do. If you look in here, I'll just give you another idea of what it looks like. I know a lot of people use uprev. Here's your flow rate. This is basically your multiplier. That's what uprev calls your fuel multiplier. I'm at 9.1. All right. Stock is 26.8, I believe. That's with the stock injectors. These injectors are so big, the multiplier is a lot smaller. Uprev says 9100. They just have a 9.1 here, so they just moved the decimal 3 spots over. Not really sure why, but you got your offset here, which is your dead time, your injector offset. That's your latency values, I guess they call it. And then your injector scaler. That is kind of like it's a inverse equation that if you, in the high RPM and high load range, you may notice your fuel trim is going progressively negative or positive, and you can adjust that up or down to compensate for that. And that's about all I'm going to show right now. I am going to do a video of me going over every last aspect of this tune. So if anybody is interested and wants to use this on their car, they'll have an idea of what I found and discovered. A lot of it trial and error because there's no information anywhere. But the stuff does work. So I'm kind of excited to get it all figured out. And then, who knows, maybe it'll even help HP tuners, maybe it'll create some interest in it. More people buy it, maybe they'll do some more R&D on it. But that's about it. I mean, I'm definitely the do-it-yourself type. I love doing this stuff. It's just, I don't know, it's just a lot of fun. I mean, a lot worse things I could be spending my time doing. And the kids like it too. I mean, we work on some stuff together here and there, especially my oldest son, because he helps having a license too. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm going to make a few more videos. I'm going to actually document the process of putting all this turbo stuff on the car, well, back on the car, with the 3.7, the VQ37HR. Actually, if you look down here, I've already got my intercooler mounted up, kind of hidden behind the grill there. So just to keep it low key, I probably will open that up because I do need more airflow. My IATs were getting pretty high the last time on the highway, but that was summertime. It is winter now, so we'll definitely have a bigger intercooler and a bigger opened up front end come spring and summer for the warm air. But it is a stock bottom end, so I'm not going to push it too far. Definitely going to detorque it in the mid-range so I don't bend the rods again. But other than that, should be a fun process. I'm really excited to see what the 3.7 hybrid will do. So, but anyway, yeah, that's about it. That's all I want to show right now. And see you in the next video. Bye-bye.